Hello, everyone. This is Mrs. Fall with today's math lesson. We're going to start off by going over our standard and our essential question in our I can statement. Our standard is 1.NBT1, count to 120, starting at any number less than 120. In this range, read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written numeral. Our essential question, how can knowing a counting pattern help you count to 120? Repeat after me. I can count to 120. I can read and write numbers and count objects to 120. For this lesson, you are going to need your big Go Math book, and you're going to open up to page 241. You're going to need a pencil, your listening eyes and ears, and parents, guardians, remember this is a concept where we want to make sure that our first graders recognize their numbers out of order. So you can get flashcards, you can go to the store and purchase them, you can make your own, you can print them on the internet, you can find some on different websites. You can make your own however you see fit, but those are some things that you would need: flashcards, index card, construction paper, something to write with in order to make those cards. And you want to make sure that not only does your first grader recognize the numbers, but they're able to say those numbers and know what comes after them and be able to recognize them as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off today's lesson with our math on the spot video.
Hey, Joey, what are you doing?
Oh, hey there, Professor Berger. I just updated Robot Emmett with a new patch.
Oh, I see
it up there?
Yeah, I do see it.
I'm trying to program him to help me with my math.
Oh, terrific.
Hey, you're just in time to see me test him.
Oh, great.
Ready? Watch.
Yeah.
Emmett, count. Oh. He might need a little bit more work still.
Hey, well, why don't we count together and then let us see if Emmett can be fixed later?
Okay.
Okay, well, here's a challenge for us in terms of counting. Let's use a counting chart to write the numbers counting forward, and you can see we have all these blank numbers.
Wow, that's a big chart.
It's a huge chart. It has 120 numbers on it.
Wow.
And we want to end with 112.
Okay.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see where 112 is. That's way on the bottom here, because 112 is so big, and I'm just going to circle 112, because that's where we're going to want to end.
Great.
So now what we're going to do to fill in the numbers that came before, we want to see what comes right before 112, and that's 111. So we're going to write 111 right in front of 112.
Okay.
Now if we go backwards one more space, we see the number 110.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to write that in. And now, do you know what comes right before 110?
109?
109.
Look at the chart.
There it is. And then before that is 108.
That chart's handy.
It's really handy, and this is maybe what Emmett needs. Now, right before, whoops, that's 108. I wrote the wrong number. See, in fact, let me just erase it. It's so good.
Erasers are handy.
That's why we use pencils. And then right before 108 is 100.
7. Before, yeah. 109 after.
That's right. So 107. So now we filled in this list, and we can count forward. So counting forward, we see 107, 108. What's the next one?
109.
110.
111.
And then 112. And so now we filled in this little chart, which was this little table, which was asked, and we used the counting chart to actually help. We circled the number that we had, and then we counted backwards wrote the numbers in, and then we can count forward. And
Oh,
that's
cool.
it. So counting's not that bad.
No, it's not. But it's not bad for you and me. But I'm gonna work on Emmett because he needs some help.
I think so. All right. Can I watch?
Oh, sure.
All right. Not quite. Needs
Oh,
some
damn
more
it.
work.
Yeah.
Have fun with math. We'll see you soon. Maybe it's just
All right, so today we are going to be counting and we are going to be using our chart. And I have included a link to the chart. So if you or your first grader need access to one, I have included one inside of our resources. So make sure you click on that link. All right, we are on page 241. So if you need to pause the video to get to 241, you may do that at this time. I am opening my book to page 241. And remember, the first thing that you do when you get to your page, you are going to write your first and last name. The first thing we do is always the same. We always remember to write our name. Good job for doing that. All right, we're on page 241 in our big math book. And right here, we have a chart and it's missing some numbers. I have two rows that are completely missing. I don't know where they went, but I need some help filling in the chart. So I need to put on my thinking cap and I need to figure out what numbers are missing. So when I start counting, I always start out with the number 1. Very good. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to write 1. What comes after 1? 2, 3, keep going, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then after I stop at 10, I'm going to go back to the first or the front. After 10 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And it's important to remember that I am writing and even reading these numbers from left to right. So after I have written 20 right here, when I start over to add the next number or say the next number, I go 21 and start back over to my left. And then I go down. After 30, I would go back 31, okay? So make sure that it's very important. The direction in which you go is very important because you may have a number chart in front of you and you want to make sure that you are saying the right numbers and recording the right numbers, okay? So after you have completed this chart, we are going to turn to page 242. We're going to count forward. That means that we're simply going to write the number that comes afterwards. So in your book, you have a chart that goes from 1 to 120. I have also included this chart as a resource. So you can use this chart, you can print it out, you can pull it up in another screen, whatever it is that you need to do with it, but you do have access to the one in your book and you will have access to this one right here. Okay, so I have this right here. The first number is 10. And right here, what is this number? It is 11. Go ahead and trace 11. Okay, and it's right there in your book. For me, 11 is right here. So it's missing some numbers. I have 1, 2, 3 spaces. So what numbers come after 11? Here's 11. What comes after 11? 12. So I'm going to write the number 12. One followed by 2. And make sure that you're helping and assisting your first grader with this, because a common misconception is that they would put the 2 in front of the 1 and they would say 12, but it's not. So make sure that you put that 1 in the front, then your 2. All right, what comes after 12? 13. So we're going to write the number 13, 1 followed by 3. And what comes after 13? The last missing number, it is 14. That's 1 followed by a 4. All right. So now we have completed that row of numbers: 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. Very good. All right, let's look at our second example. This number, 100, that number is 100. All right, we're going to trace this number that comes after 100. What number comes after 100? 101, 101. So you can find 101 on your chart. There it is in your book. Here it is right here. All right, so what number comes after 101? 102. Very good. What number comes after 102? 103. 103. And what comes after 103? 104. Very good. We're going to write 104 on that line. 104. Very good. So now you have completed that second row of missing numbers: 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. All right. There's one more set of missing numbers, but this time it starts with 110. So we can find 110. 110 is right here. And then in order for us to go to the next line, we've got to start on our new row. 111. Go ahead and trace 111. And what comes after 111? 112. 1, 1, 2. 112. What comes after 112? 113. 1, 1, 3. 111, 112, 113. And what's our last missing number? It is 114. So I'm going to record that right there. 1, 1, 4. 114. Okay. So now it is time for our share and show portion of our lesson. And we're going to start at number 1. Again, you can use the chart that I have linked to this lesson. You can use the chart that is in your book. Whatever it is that you're most comfortable with, you can do that. So we're going to do numbers 1 and 2 together, and then you're going to do the remainder on your own. All right. So my first number is 114. 114. What I can do, I can find this number on my chart. And here's a tip. If you guys print that numbers chart that I link, parents, guardians, you can put it inside of a sheet protector and get you a dry erase marker. You can find those at the Dollar Tree. Get you an eraser. If you don't want to get an eraser, you can get tissue or a sock. You can actually have your first grader circle that number, and then you can have him or her practice finding those numbers, and then that way you can have it to use over and over again. All right, so you have 114. So what number on my chart comes after 114? Well, let me look. This is 114, and I'm looking for the numbers that come after. So what comes after 114? 115. Okay, I have a few more spaces that I need to fill. Okay, I have 5 more spaces to go. 114, 115. What comes after 115? 116. What comes after 116? 117. All right, what goes after 117? 118. And you should be writing these on your line. Now, because I have a board, I'm going to run out of room. So I'm going to have to start right here, but yours should still be going straight across on in your book. After 118, we have 119. And after 119, that final number that completes that row is 120. 1, 2, 0. Okay? This be a good time to practice writing those numbers. Another idea you can do is you can call out a number, and you can have them in their composition notebooks, whatever paper that you have at the house. You can call out a number, and you can make sure that your first grader knows how to write that number. That's another idea that you can implement after this video, or whenever it is that you will have time to do this. Okay? And we're going to do number 2 together. Go ahead and put your finger on number 2. So that means that your finger is going to go here, so you can track and follow along that blue number 2. Okay, that's our second set right here. This is the number 51. You can find that number on your chart. Okay, so you can find it here on your chart. You can use this chart. I'm going to use this one. Okay. So it comes after 51. You have 52. What comes after 52? 53. 5 and a 3 again. Make sure that our first graders are writing the 5 first, followed by the number that goes behind it. 51, 52, 53. What comes after 53? 54. 5 and 4. 54. What comes after 54? 55. 2 5s, a 5 and 5. Again, you should still be going straight across, fill in the blanks on your book, but because I have a board, I'm going to have to move it down. Okay, so that's 55. What comes after 55? 56. What comes after 56? That last number is 57. 5, then a 7. So what you're going to do, you are going to continue. You're going to do numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can practice numbers with an older brother or sister, a cousin, aunt, uncle, whoever it is that is there to assist you. I'm going to link a few games. I'm going to link the Jack Hartman counting video, and I'm also going to link the 120 chart. So I want you guys to make sure that you're practicing those numbers, that you're practicing writing those numbers, recognizing those numbers, and I will see you all next time. All right, bye-bye.